Hey, what is up, guys? And welcome back to another Magic the Gathering online league. We're back once again with Temur Eldrazi Ramp on the draw for game 1. Grove of the Burn Willow, so this could be Basking Broodscale, looking like Basking Broodscale combo. Okay. So we need some interaction ASAP. Moments like this is where I kind of am reminded that I think a Karn versus non-Karn version is very meta dependent. I think the online meta probably has enough. Yeah, has enough artifact-centric decks. Ooh, interesting. I think we go return. I'd like to go command, but I think return is better here, question mark. Because we're going to be able to go rumble. If you find a soul land, then we'd be in a good spot. Let's go command. It's a bit of a risk, but we'll see. I'll go Cavern of Souls, name Eldrazi. Malevolent Rumble. I will grab a Drifter or a Talisman. Let's grab a Drifter and then pass and pass. I mean, we can command X equals 2 next turn for what it's worth. Yeah. So if they go Saga, Broodscale here, we can just exile the Broodscale. Springleaf Drum is fine. Blade of Blood Chief, not so much. Another Drifter. Yes, so I think I'll go Misty Rain and pass. Trigger from the Saga. Prismatic Vista. Fetch. Forest. Clearing Flesh Rake. Okay. Tap for white. Equip Blade of the Blood Chief. Oh no, play Blade of the Blood Chief. Yes, that can resolve. And pause on end step. Fetch with the Misty Rain. I'll go with a Breeding Pool tapped. And draw. Well, I think we go Forest and then we hold here with this command in hand. They have Saga. X equals 1, I guess, can grab a Might. Or not X equals 1, but Saga can grab a Might. That's not exactly all too relevant right now, though it does trigger the Flesh Rake, I suppose. Vexing Bauble. I guess that way they can draw a card. There's the Broodscale, there's the Flesh Rake. ETB. When they go to equip it, that's when we will exile it. Currently 3 and done. Adapt, that's fine. Deals me another 1 damage. And at this point, yeah, we pass in full. Draws a card. Next turn, we'll be able to play the Null Drifter. I just feel like Eldrazi Ramp really struggles with this matchup without Karn. I do have the Stone Brain on the side for combo decks like this, so it could be relevant. Maybe take out part of the engine, whether that be the Basking Broodscale or the Blade. Of course, Glaring Flesh Rate can kind of just win on its own is the problem. Springleaf Drum triggers. Like I said, Flesh Rate can just win on its own. 'Tis a tiny bit scary, honestly. Why tap that? I feel like if you're going to play Rumble or Stirrings, you should tap the Eldrazi spawn. That way you can attack the Flesh Rake. They came to the same conclusion. Oh, you have another Basking Broodscale. Well, you equip it by sacrificing a spawn. You sacrifice the spawn, and then you win. Yeah, I mean, there was not much I could do about that. I think we were right for getting rid of the engine, but ended up biting us in the end. Basking Broodscale, lost for game 1, on to game 2. Consigned to Memory is a yes. Cut the returns. I think Dismember's also a yes. Cut Gemstone. Depends on the version whether or not it plays Lab, I suppose. We could cut Ghost Core. We want Bajuka Bog for Emrakul. I think we cut Devourer here instead. Then run it back. Stonebrain is an option, but they do have a decent mid-range backup plan in the way of Urza Saga, right? That's my main concern with Stonebrain. We can keep this. You don't need red, so we can go Wooded Foothills Fetch Forest for blue. So Forest, Sprawl for blue, and pass. I ideally want to draw into a land here. That would be nice. Temple and pass, draw, another Rumble. We'll play Rumble. Gonna go Forest. And then Rumble again. Grab Temple. And then pass. Next turn we can kick the Myco spawn. Wonder if opponent's thinking of command X0 to exile the spawn and draw a card. Yeah, that's exactly what they're thinking. Which I think is correct. Otherwise we do get a kicked Myco spawn on 3. And that would be pretty detrimental to their overall game plan. Cavernous Souls, name Eldrazi. Thief of Existence hits Utopia Sprawl. Interesting. Consider my blue source. Like a land. Sprawl. Sprawl does work. 4 blue. Temple. I'm going to go for a fetch here. Let's grab a Misty Rainforest. And then pass. This way I can hold up the consigned memory by fetching for Breeding Pool. Otherwise, end step, we can just fetch for a Commercial District. Attacking's fine. By the way they're holding up mana, I think I actually will pass. Yeah, I think they have a consign that I'd like to counter. And that's why I didn't fetch. Null Drift. 2, 6. We do have 6 mana for what it's worth. Let's go to combat. I am gonna fetch a Soin Myco spawn. Oh, did I miscount? I did, didn't I? Whoops. That's annoying and unfortunate. We'll grab Temp and pass. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we could have just done that. Oopsie. Didn't change too much, I don't think. I guess it would give us a Kozilek's command, X equals 1 available to us if they do play the command like I expect. In which case we'll consign. Fetch. Breeding Pool Shock. Cast Consign. And pass. Hold out the ability to respond. Saga Trigger. Down to 10. do we want to proceed? Basking Broodscale, okay. 5, 9, 13, yeah? This should close out the game, he thinks. Phone scoops it up. We'll take the win. On to game 2. Game 3. I know how to count. Sometimes. We'll bring back in the gemstone. We'll cut the devourer. Keep our dismembers. And run it back. And devourer is pretty weak in this matchup. Let's see. I can keep. It's a little bit fragile, however. We'll pass. Would have liked to have been able to play the Chrysalis. Ooh, early Blade is scary. Again, moments like this where as if Chrysalis was Karn, I wouldn't be as worried. And pass. I mean, we're representing consign, so they need to be careful and play around. But they do have the Cavernous Souls for what it's worth. Gemstone. Well, there's the Basking Broodscale. That's not what we needed. So what can I do here? We could evoke a Null Drifter to try and find a couple things. And that might be correct. The alternative plan is... It's not like Ghost Core is going to do anything. Alright, let's evoke. Oh, yeah. Evoke. Well, there's command. I do want that. Don't get me wrong. But it's a bit late. So we'll play Misty Rainforest. Again, going to be representing a consigned memory. Hold up the ability to respond. Let's see if you have it. Yeah, you equip, you adapt. Don't think I had much else in the way of options. Alright, let's see if you have a payoff. That's the question now. Yeah, I needed a dismember or I needed a consign, either which I have. So we'll put a pause on end step. You got infinite mana and an infinitely big Basking Broodscale. Can you do anything with it, is the question. Do you have an Emrakul? Do you have a K command, right? Do I have any other recourse? I don't think so. Again, if this Chrysalis was a Karn, it would be less of an issue. So I just wonder if it might just be right that in a meta where it's less defined, you simply play Karn, and if you know the meta is not going to have much, if any, artifact-centric decks, that you don't. And then you either go with Gruul or Temur, which I'd argue Temur's the better option, just since you do have access to Consign. And I think that does hit a wide variety of decks at the top end of the meta, including the Mirror. So I think maybe that might be the answer to the question. Gruul's fun, don't get me wrong, but I do think that it is, in comparison, probably a little bit worse, as it offers different tools to answer the same problem, but those tools are far less effective by comparison, right? You better have a consign at the end of all, or not consign, a command at the end of all this. Paying cost. Yeah, it looks like you do. I'm just gonna give my opponent, I guess I won't even have the ability to respond. I could give my opponent like a slight heart attack, but not even worth it. They show me the command, we'll concede. And they paid for something. Oh, Ballista. Yeah, Ballista will work too. Oh, not to mention, I'm dumb. I forgot about the fact that the Basking Broodscale could attack. Yeah. I'm starting going, oh, well, let's see if they have something to kill me. And like, oh, the Basking Broodscale. Yes, you'll use that as your win con. Well, that said, we'll be back for match 2. Alright, and we're back for match 2 on the draw for game 1. We cannot keep this hand. We can keep this, though. This looks promising. Go for Drifter, go for Chrysalis. I think we go for Chrysalis and a Soul Land off the Devourer. Let's pass. Blue. Oh, gotta be joking me. I think we need to go for Emrakul, actually. They usually play a field, so we need to go Forest, Sprawl. Let's go for red. And then pass and pass. So this is mill. Double crab, and of course there's the field. There's the return, so we can get a Null Drifter now, funny enough. Reading Bull tapped, and pass. And pass. And draw. And shock. Chrysalis. And pass. For 10. Opponent's missing land drops. This, I think, tells me everything I need. As much as I don't like doing this all too often, and I should be smart about this. Sack, trigger. Sack, trigger. And kick. Right now they're missing land drops, so by getting rid of their lands, especially colored sources, this is going to give me advantage even if they have our friend Archive Trap. Let's go Ugin Lab. Imprint. Resolve. Talisman. And combat. Let's see your archive trap, friend. Yep. 'Twas expected. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, we can draw into a land, then we can go Chrysalis, but looks like that worked out in my favor. We'll take the win. Warping Whale actually does have some usage here. Go Warping Whale, and I think Dismember as well. The Jukabog, not doing much. And Gemstone Caverns we can cut. The return is nice in theory. Maybe it is better than Dismember, but I would like to be able to Dismember the crabs on one if possible. Also, for some reason in my mind I had the thought that we lost game one because, you know, mill. No, we did not. I'll mulligan this. I'll keep this though. Pitch a Sprawl. And then pass. Colosseum, Crab. Draw. Hugin's Lab. Imprint. Cast. Pass. And pass. Five. Glimpse. 7. There's a World Breaker in yard, which is good. For red. What in the what? Do you have force? I was about to say, that would be a new one. I think what you might actually have is a surgical extraction, which means this Emrakul is not long for this world. So 4, 6, 7. There's field, which means they're going to hit the soul land, yeah. And then potentially an archive trap as follow-up. One, 2, 3. Surgical, the Emrakul. Yep, that makes sense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what we can do next turn is I think we can play the Windswept Teeth and sack that to bring back World Breaker to hand. Let's go to combat. Windswept Teeth and pass. What you thinking, opponent? Fractured Sanity. Put a pause on end step. Undercity Sewers, Crab Trigger. It's getting tight. We might be able to get there just barely. So 1, 2, 3. Sacrifice the Windswept. Temple. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's get rid of that Colosseum, shall we? Go to combat. Trying to think here. I mean, yeah, this will force them to block next turn. Hold up the ability to respond. And that's 14, so you got it. Short of Warping Will, I got nothing. Yeah, the surgical was a bit rough. They kind of telegraphed it a few times. Okay, well now we can keep the gemstone out. Me not paying attention, clearly. Not that I think it would have mattered all too much. And let's run it back. On the play for game 3, I will keep. It's not my favorite hand in the world, but it is workable. Especially if you find a soul land off Devourer. Trigger. There's the temple. Breeding Pool, Shock, Utopia Sprawl. We don't need red, so going for, I guess, blue is relevant. Yes, either that or double green, but we'll go blue. And pass. And pass. So they go turn 1 crab, we can exile it immediately, but they don't. We will pass. A little bit worried about a consign here. Debating if I should respond, but I think we hold. It feels like they're holding a consign. Name Eldrazi. Cast Talisman. Pass, and then hold. Field of Ruin, a bit rude. Command X2. Done. Really, that's surprising. Two, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's go after a watery grave. What land do you go after? That's fine. Archive Trap, a bit rude, but not the end of the world. I do wonder whether or not I should play this Malevolent Rumble. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We are short on a land. Bit dangerous, but we'll go for it. And pass. And pass. Crab. This way we can devour a crab. This is what, 6, 12? Yikes. Emrakul. Combat. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's see, do you have a consign? They'll fetch. Probably should have actually held back, but I also want to be able to kill them on the following turn, right? I guess I would have been able to regardless. Yeah. Down to 16. Draw. Drown on the lock works out perfectly. Go to main. Cast Drown on the lock. Destroy a Ruin Crab. Black, blue. Go to combat. Attack with Ruin Crab. Block with Emrakul. Play Flooded Strand, fetch. No Surveil lands. So in that case, no reason to grab anything. In that case, I think we simply pass. Alright, comes down to your top deck. You can mill me for 6 down to 10. So like a Fractured Sanity kills me. Yeah, if I would have held back the World Breaker, that may have been correct. But we got it. All they found was a Coliseum. We'll take it. Alright. Well, solid win against Mill. Was not expecting that, but I'll take the W where I can get it. That said, we'll be back for match 3. We're back for match 3 on the play for game 1. 3 Devourers. We're looking for a Rumble. Oh, well, this is interesting. Trigger 1. Of course, we find on the first. Trigger 2. And trigger 3. Temple, pass, and pass. The fact that we did hit 2 soul lands is a bit rough, but it wasn't the first batch. This does look to be Karn Eldrazi Ramp. There's a Talisman. Draw. Forest. Rumble. Ghost Quarter. We could grab Ghost Quarter. There's a thought. Otherwise, we try and high roll into a soul land. Right now, there's what, 5 off the top that we're looking for. It's like a 1 out of 9. It's like the odds aren't bad, but they're not great either. Yeah, we'll go Ghost Quarter. And pass. So now we try and go consign, well, not consign, Sowing Mega Spawn. The only downside is we'll need to draw into another land. Only 5. Do you have a Karn? No. Mycospawn not kicked. Pushes them up to 7. mean, they could grab their own Ghost Quarter and hit my temple if they have it. Grabs a temple. Alternatively, could command X1 my spawn, which I think is correct. At the end of the day, this is a resource war, so any advantage you can get, the better. Yep. So now we can't Ghost Quarter. Oof. Play Ghost Quarter. Cast Myco Spawn. For Eldrazi Temple. And pass. I mean, depending on what they have, it's likely they just win here. Next turn we can kick. That's if they don't have a kicked Myco Spawn of their own. Or a World Breaker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They're one short on Emrakul, so they attack into the Myco Spawn we cannot block. That's Karn. Minus Karn. For a liquid metal coating. Yep. This forces us to attack Karn. I mean, the good news is, regardless, we're able to play this away Myco Spawn unless they make a really smart heads-up play and make our forest into an artifact. If they do that, then they're in a very strong position. There's the coating as expected. No attacks. Yep. Why not play the coating, though? Weird. Go to combat. Attack at Karn. Yep. I mean, the trade was obvious. I mean, if we go after the lab, at the very least, then it makes the artifacts all that much more expensive. So I think going after the lab is correct. Yep, returns the Devourer. Maybe that's why they didn't tap it down, but I think that's incorrect. 3, 9, 10, 11. So Solon gets them to an Emrakul. Actually, a land can get them there if they have a Tormod script of their own. So I wonder if maybe we should Bojuka Bog, but if we do that, then we get put into this awkward position, don't we? Where they're going to strip one of our lands. And we have 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I guess we have to go Temple. Otherwise, there's no chance of us playing these Devourers. But maybe Bojuka Bog is right. The thing is, they could also just play Devourer, set up a blocker. I'm going to go Bojuka Bog to play it safe. I would prefer that they do not play Emrakul, because that will be the nail in the coffin. Whereas liquid metal coating isn't necessarily the end, though it isn't great either. 3, 9, 10, 11. Karn tick down for Tormod's Crib 12. Land 13 for Emrakul, yeah. With that land, they can now cast both Liquid Metal and Devourer. Yep. Yep. And I play a Devourer as a blocker. So now we need a Soul Land off top in order to play Devourer. That's not going to cut it. Which means, what's our recourse, if any? I don't think there is any. They're going to continue to strip our lands. We'll concede out. This is Eldrazi Ramp. Lost for game 1. Let's bring in Consign to Memory. And I think that's about it. I won't bring in Dismembers. It's good against Tron because of Thought Knot, but against Ramp not as much, so I think we just run it back as is. I'm trying to remember if I saw blue sources for opponent, but I can't recall off the top of my head. Yeah, I think Karn might be correct, and I think it might be the direction I go for RCQ season. Because the problem with my locals and kind of where I'm located specifically is that we have a lot of people that come out of, not out of state. Well, I guess actually technically it is out of state since my LGS is in a different state from where a lot of people come from the cities. And because of that, I can't really get a good read on what the meta is going to look like. So it could be very diverse. It could be very, energy heavy. Hell, it could be ramp heavy for all I know. And I think for the fact that I can't really get a read on what the meta is going to look like, in the same way that I can't get a true read on MTGO right now, it might make sense to go Karn just to kind of cast the net as wide as possible, which tends to be the direction I go, unless we can really dissect what the meta is going to look like and then, make educated decisions from there. So I think that will be the direction I had. Probably means I'll stick with Karn Eldrazi Ramp on MTGO going forward. Now, we also have to do some testing with Ugin come, Tuesday? Test it here in ERAM, test it over in Eldrazi-tron. On the play for game 2, I will keep... We'll go Verdant Catacombs, fetch on end step for District, Malevolent Rumble... The only problem is we won't be able to get to a Sowing Mycospawn unless we draw into another Soul Land, yeah? Well, at the very least, the Catacombs will get a second look at our top. Stomping Ground, Shock for Utopia Sprawl, I'd imagine. Yep. And red. That tells me I don't think they're on Consign, but instead... are on Stone Rain. There's our second Soul Land. Now we just need to dodge a Stone Rain on 2. We find the Temple. We might want the Drifter. I think I stick with the Temple here. And then pass. And pass. There's an argument to maybe we should have played the Lab into a Talisman. Writhing Chrysalis is fine. Would love to see a Sowing Myco spawn. No Sowing Myco spawn, eh? I mean, I could leave up a breeding pool, then x equals 2. Otherwise, we can x equals 4. And that'll be enough for Emrakul on 4. Goes 4, 8, 10. Yeah, we're 2 short, or 3 short rather. So I think we, in that case, hold. I might go for a kicked Myco spawn here on 3. Yeesh. Looking like what? Kicked Myco spawn. I'll float. Let's see if you have Bajuka Bog. That would be a problem. Yeah. Shoot. Takes 4 card types at a yard. Little phase change. We will scry exile. Scry exile, scry draw, and ramp. Yeah, consign would have been good. There's a rumble. Okay, actually, there's a thought here. We already have command. So I wonder if we bottom top draw, pass, no blocks. I might be able to make this work because we imprint the Null Drift. Cast Rumble. We at least get a creature into yard. I'll grab the forest. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. We got there. Tis an Emrakul. Yep, they'll just do that now. No reason for them not to. KGC and an Emrakul of their own. Commercial district. Yeah, that's ugly. And a land. Yeah, the problem is now if they have a KGC or if they have a bridge, right? Go to combat, attack of Chrysalis. We'll block with Emrakul, and at that point we just pass in full. Huh. 1, 3, 7, 8, 9. So yeah, the question is whether or not they have bridge. I guess they won't be able to play bridge this turn, so they play the Karn, we at least can take it down. Interesting. I do wonder, as I continue to think about the Karn wish board for Eldrazi Ramp, about running console flagship. It is a genuinely good card into the mirror. Could be a thought, because I kind of want like a creature to pull with Karn. Just so difficult because the sideboard's so split between like an actual sideboard and a Karn board, right? Misty Rain. 2 types in yard. So it looks like they're going to play KGC. Maybe not. Plays Eldrazi for another Chrysalis. And I guess you could still go Chrysalis into KGC for what it's worth. It looks like they're trying to set up for an Emrakul. That would be problematic. We'll grow the Chrysalis. There's KGC, KGC -4. Ensnaring Bridge, yes. Draw. Null Drift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. First off and foremost, we'll attack KGC. We can't exactly leave that unattended. The only problem here is that we'll add another type to yard. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Forest and cast Null Drift. Draw 2. Ghost Quarter would have been nice if I could have played it. So they're what, 2 short on the Emrakul? So I think they just play Bridge here. Yep, they'll attack first. Makes sense. And then Bridge. And draw. Consign is good. Full shock. Play Talisman. Play Talisman. And we'll pass. Unfortunately, there wasn't a good way for me not to telegraph this consign, but it is what it is. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Shock. Interesting. So it looks like they're thinking that we have the consign. I mean, like I said, we telegraphed it pretty significantly, so we'll return to Null Drift. But until I can get rid of that Ensnaring Bridge, we're kind of at a staring match. Cast. Draw 2. Let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we could Ghost Quarter. But I think it might just make more sense to Ugin Lab and imprint the Devourer. That way you can consign and replicate twice if needed for a sowing Mycospawn. I'm not all too worried about the body, I suppose. Oh no. You have a very big, not a consign, a command. I can't exactly ignore this, can I? Yeah. We'll let the ability to respond. I mean, they basically use that as a permission spell. But letting them dig 8 deep just is not an option. At least not a good one. Sowing Mycospawn kicked. Getting rid of the blue source. Interesting. So yeah, they're on Gruul Eldrazi Ramp. Cavernous Souls, they guarantee the body. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can play the Devourer regardless. No reason to return it now, I suppose. I will pass. Misty Rain. Oh boy. In that case, we'll return Devourer to hand. I'll exile the Utopia Sprawl. And you have how many types in your yard? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So even if I were to get rid of Eldrazi Temp, you still have enough, but not playing the Ghost Quarter, not activating it now would be kind of detrimental to me. So we'll just do this and pass. I did have an extra land. I mean, even if they play, they'll be able to hit me for 3, I suppose. Yeah, even if they play the Emrakul, like what then? We're still in this awkward staring match until that bridge gets offline. Stone Rain, okay. Why belabor the point? Why belabor Emrakul? We'll play Misty Rainforest and pass. So now we kind of just threaten a consign. But I mean, this is likely going to go to my opponent. That bridge has just been giving them way too much value. Yep, there's the Emrakul. Worst case scenario here, of course, is that we draw into our World Breaker. Stomping Grounds tapped. Pass in full. I mean, yeah, you can play the Devour for me if you really want. Thank you for the extra draw. Oh yeah, I guess that's true. You could fail to find. Actually, is World Breaker exiled? That would have been upsetting. It is not. There's World Breaker. There it is. Yeah, we only have the one of World Breaker. Fails the find. And pass this back to me. Draw. Chrysalis. I mean, we just continue to build a board state. And pass. All I need is a world breaker. I'm not sure if that alone will get me there. I mean, our board state's definitely better by comparison just because we have more evasion. But we have to be careful of the crackback. So if we're going to do it, we have to make sure we do it right. What you playing here? Another sowing Mycospawn? Oh. Alright. Nope. Opponent says, I ain't going to get rid of my own bridge. Sure, I suppose. Draw. Okay. Well, this gets interesting now. We will command. Not as deep as I would like it to be, but x equals 7 will do a lot. There's Emrakul. So Bajuka Bog bottom. We don't have anything for consign, so that's kind of moot. The problem is... Okay, I have an idea. So go top and draw. Kicker. Let's kick your temple. Grab Sanctum of Ugin. The thought is now that we wait a turn, right? Because we do that, then I can cast Emrakul for 7, and then on the same turn cast World Breaker, exiling Bridge. Let's see if that works. They pass it back. Perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Triggers. And now that we have control of their turn, and Bridge will be down, that should win us the game. Doesn't matter which one, I'll keep this one. Goodbye, Bridge. Our turn, comrade. No reason to attack right now, though I guess if they have a Karn. I guess that does make it a bit interesting, right? Oh, I swear to God, if they did that, we'd be in so much trouble. Like, a Karn grabs back bridge, and then what? Because we want to more or less... Let's see... Like, we can sweep their board. If I attack right now, how do they block? They crash, they block, they block, they block, they block. So it's not enough to kill. So yes, we'll go to our turn, comrade. Hand is an Ugin's Lab. And their own Emrakul. You got to be joking me. So let's see. Go to main. Play the Ugin Lab. Imprint the Emrakul and just make it a bit more expensive for them. Begin combat. They swing all out. Go to blocks. So let's see here now. Ground stuff needs to be on the ground. We can block here. Block here. The fact that they're going to have another Emrakul annoys the hell out of me. But we can use it to our advantage. And that should be enough. Because we can split 13 amongst those three for non-lethal damage. Yes. And like that, 4, 6, 3. Emrakul's down. And then pass. Oh. Actually. I want to return World Breaker. And then hold up the ability to respond. Sacrifice a land. Oh, I wanted to hold up the ability to respond, for God's sake. Okay, well, we'll pass. That took way too long. And we'll just attack with all. And pass. Okay, we got out of that. In retrospect, I should have done a couple things, right? A, I wanted to hold priority when I activated their World Breaker. B, I should have actually killed my own World Breaker. The reason being is that way if they did top deck a Karn, I could bring back World Breaker and exile the bridge again. But we also should have been able to, I think, sacrifice 3 of their lands. I don't think that would have even been possible. Let's run it back as is. Yeah, the moment they get bridge down, we're in trouble. Because we either need to get them to bring it down, or we do. I will keep... Do I exile Utopia Sprawl? I think I exile Emrakul. This way we can command X1 if needed. Ghost Quarters, rude. Right. Temple, pass. Temple for Talisman. Put a pause on end step. Want a soul land here. Go big or go home. And we did go big. Imprint the Drifter. And kick the Myco Spot. We could Ghost Quarter their Ghost Quarter, funny enough. 2, 4, 5, 6. If they Ghost Quarter this, it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, that's still fine. And pass. Doesn't matter what, we get to play World Breaker next turn. After we Utopia Sprawl. And if they Ghost Quarter, it means they're playing nothing, right? Malevolent Rumble. Do you grab the KGC, a land, or a Myco Spawn? And imagine you grab a land at this point. You're in dire straits. Grab the Temp. Play as a forest. Utopia Sprawl. For blue. Get rid of the temple. Go to combat. And again, if you choose to get rid of the Drifter, it means you have nothing else going on for you, which is a great position for me to be in. Another Rumble. And that's a solid whiff. Grabs the Rainforest. Choose the Forest, interesting. Utopia Sprawl. Go to combat. Return Null Drifter to hand. And cast Null Drifter. Would have liked to have seen a consign, but we'll take it. And pass. Put a pause on end step. Here comes a Chrysalis. That'd be my guess, at least. Yep. Interesting. Do you play Karn? No, a Talisman. Fetch. For Commercial District. Sanctum to Grave. Kicker. Bajuka Bog. Should have played the... I guess we could have played the Wrath and Chrysalis beforehand, yeah. We'll sacrifice a spawn to an Annihilator. That's fine, though. Sacrifices the Talisman. That is also a-okay. Well, I guess, yeah, you have to. But that's still 7 damage. I mean, I guess you could have blocked the Null Drifter and blocked, so... I mean, that wasn't a loss there, but we'll still take the win. That was a close one. That was, that could have gone a whole lot worse, I'll tell you that. That said, we'll take the W and move on to match 4. Alright, and we're back for match 4 on the play for game 1. Let's take a look-see. So this looks like it is going to be... whatchamacallit? Control. Let's reveal Devourer. Trigger. Let's grab Sowing Mycospawn then. Play Eldrazi Temp and pass. And pass. Meticulous Archive and pass. Put Solitude into Grave, okay. Land, pass. And pass. Steam Vent Shock, so it looks like Jeskai. Draw. Ghost Court, Sanctum. Cast Sowing Mycospawn. Grab Temple and pass. Galvanic Discharge. Yeah, looks like traditional Jeskai. Alright, good to know. Mystic Gate and Fairy. We'll Devour then. I'm tempted to Sanctum, but I think we hold off until at least next turn. Because we could Sanctum into Sowing Myco. Maybe that would have been correct. That way we could have grabbed for a Cavern of Souls in retrospect. Yeah, I think that would have been good. But also would have meant that we couldn't have played a Devour if needed. Go to combat. Do you have a Solitude? Yep. Prismatic Ending into yard, or rather exile. cast Null Drift. Draw 2, then search. Let's go with Sowing Mycospawn after all. There is the counterspell. So yeah, I think we should have went Sowing Mycospawn, but say la vie. Fetch. Surveil land. So yeah, I think a slight missequence on our part then. Big Tef. So we're gonna go with Devourer next turn. Fetch. Commercial District. Temple top. Untaps double blue. Exile Tef. Body resolves. 7, 9, 11. There's a chance we draw into the 4th Eldrazi Temp, right? Yes. We'll go Temp, pass, and pass. Draw. Sprawl is good. Down to 11. Let's get rid of your 1 red source. Grab Cavernous Souls, name Eldrazi. Play Sprawl for blue. Play Misty Rain and pass. Pause on end step. Flooded Strand. And is this a Wrath the Skies question mark? Because I don't think they have enough. Supreme Dark work though. Fetch. Stomping Grounds tapped. Let's see, this will be 11. And last 3. Do you have a Solitude? Flooded Strand fetch for a Surveil land, I imagine. Thundering Falls. Yep. And just out of access of caution, in case you do have Days Undoing, we're going to Bojuka Bog you at this point. Our turn, comrade. Yeah, it's a Days Undoing, alright. So what we'll do then is Gyarich, draw, main. So I will pay 3. 1, 2, 3. evoke, pitch Kahira, done, and evoke. They reach. Yep. Pitch the Days Undoing. And pitch the Breeding Pool. And then we will destroy the reach. And choose not to use the ability. And pass. Alright, opponent. All you. Doing the narrative. And opponent scoops it up. We'll take the W versus control. I mean, Days Undoing. Is this a sorcery spell? It is. I mean, obviously, if they have a Teferi, the Warping Wail doesn't do too much. Because the return is doing nothing in this matchup. Short of, like, just clearing Solitudes, right? So I could go Stonebrain. Like, Stonebrain out, Narset, Days Undoing, etc. Could go Warping Wail. But that gets bricked pretty hard. Yeah, we'll go Stonebrain in. And run it like back. Run it back like that. It's not great. Defense Grid would probably be better, but I'm not sure if Defense Grid's the answer that I want either. Yeah, it's hard to say. It is hard to say. I really do need to go back through, I think, all three sideboards. I mean, Gruul and Temur are practically the same. My plus or minus Stone Rain versus Consign. But the Karn board I really do need to go through and figure out what's needed, what's not. It is hard when you don't know what the meta's going to look like. I can keep. And pass. And draw. Windswept Teeth, pass. Put a pause on end step. Tis Mysticate and fetch for Commercial District. Trigger Devourer. I would actually like that, especially in case, because then it opens up our ability for more soul lands. We move from 4 temples to 8 soul lands, including Lab. I'll play Sanctum. Talisman. Does this resolve? Does. We'll pass. And pass. Do you want to use Stonebrain as bait, or do you want to use Malevolent Rumble as bait? Tis a Teferi? You okay, opponent? There you go. Yeah, Teferi, bounce, Talisman, no plus. So in that case, did not mean to uptick. Rip. Oofta. Stonebrain. Do you have a force? You're playing Days Undoing and Gerich. I imagine that you are running Narset. Harder of Veils. Let me make sure that that's the right one. Hold up. Narset. Parter. Yes, that was correct. No Narset, please. An Ashiok. Well, that's fascinating. There's Big Tef as well. Salzi Consign. What's their endgame Orange Chant? Do you have the lock pieces? No. Okay, so yes, Narset out. And pass. I wonder if maybe going Writhing Chrysalis would have been right instead. Bounce. Probably in retrospect. Steam Vents. Ashiok. And draw. Or a Stone Brain. Let's start with Rumble. Stomping Grounds. Shock. Talisman. And Talisman. And pass. And pass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need a land for Devourer. I mean, we likely devour Big Tef. There's Big Tef. Draw. Imprint. We can't search, so we're not going to trigger this. We want Big Tef down. Do you have Consign or a Counterspell? Oofda. We pass in full. No. Yeah, I think maybe instead of Stone Brain, we probably should have went for Writhing Chris. That way we would have had a body on board at the very least. Now, do I think they would have bounced it? Probably. We would have ended up in a similar position, but we would have been able to cast the Devourer a turn earlier. Tef tick up. And draw. Let's attempt to land a body. Actually, yeah. Does Chrysalis resolve? It does. Interesting. I wonder, I'm trying to remember what, okay. I was about to say, I'm trying to remember what your win cons are if I end up going for a Solitude. Maybe I should have named that the first one in retrospect. Well, I guess you can mill me out with Ashiok, right? Supreme Verdict, saw that as a potential issue. Not much we can do about that. We'll pass. We do need a Devourer. Rude. Doubly rude. So now he can't even cast a Devourer. Where's this Hollow Fountain gone? They just never play it for some reason? Temp. Might as well go for it. I'm doubting it's resolving. That much is certain. Wild. Oh, dumb. Yeah, that was... Do this one more time. The reason why I'm like, oh yeah, that was dumb of me, because freaking Ashiok. It's like, we'll stack the top so that we were fine. I wanted the freaking Cavernous Soul, so I'm glad I stopped or did that incorrectly, but still. Bottom draw. And pass rail this time. All you, opponent. I mean, given that you let me dig, I'm a bit surprised. Yeah, I would have liked to be able to get the Cavernous Souls and Devourer, but Ashiok made that more difficult. Hey, you finally played that Hollow Fountain. About time. I was wondering when they'd finally play it. Alright, well... I'm wondering, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Of course we'd be short because I messed up my... Let's see if it even matters. Do you have a consign? Yeah. Let's just move on, question mark? No. Trying to think here. If I hadn't messed up with the K command, I could argue, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I mean, if they can't draw a card, Days Undoing's not the right play because then it just ends the turn. Orphan Guard is fine. You need the Ashiok. I guess the problem is even if I play Emrakul, then what, right? We're at a time deficit on top of which? Stack the triggers. Do you have a consign? Yeah, okay. I mean, yeah, even then doesn't matter because you already have the emblem. Alright, T. And I think we just run it back as is. Yeah, if I'd been able to play... I think we should have played the Chrysalis when we played the Stone Brain, because that would have allowed me to get a body on board, forcing them to bounce the Chrysalis instead. On the play for game 3. This is the Orphan Guard. I will keep. Reveal. There's a soul hand. Okay. I think we just go Bajuka Bog, target you. And pass. Get the tapped land out of the way. And pass. Right now we only have 3 mana. Oh no, we have 4. Draw. Well, let's attempt to kick. Get rid of archive. Do you have the consign? Fetching. There's consigned. Do you give me the body or the triggers? That's the question. Give me the body, that's fine. We'll pass. And pass. Tune the narrative, so they're missing a land drop. There's their land drop. Bit hesitant to play Devourer here. Would like another playable. That is in fact a playable. Rumble. It resolves. Find another Devourer. I think we will tuck the Devourer and pass. This way, if they do Days Undoing, we at least have another card available to us. There's Tef. What do you minus on, friend? If you want it, stick on board. Interesting. That is very interesting. Yeah. Orange Chant. Burning Catacombs. Teferi Plus. Sacred Foundry Shock. Big Tef. And plus. Well, so now it gets a bit more interesting now, doesn't it? Fetch. Commercial District. Trigger. Force to the Yard. Another Orange Chant? You do. And that has become a problem. And pass. We need to get rid of that Teferi ASAP. And right now they're just taking control of the game. If they're the Days Undoing now, I think we have the Devourer tucked. Because the big threat here is Teferi. Big Tef, more accurately. We need to deal with it as quickly as possible. There's the Days Undoing. Oh, Ashiok. Ashiok's fine. That could be far worse. And Tef will untap. We get to play cards. Look at that, I do. For blue. 7, 2, 4, 5, 6. So I can do both. Let's get rid of you. Unfortunately, I can't search thanks to Ashiok. I can phase change. No attacks. And cast Devourer. Target Big Tef. Yeah, they can sign. They do not. Okay, well, we're not out of the woods yet, but we're definitely in a much better position than we were. With bodies on board, now they need a sweeper. Can sign the memory. A bit late to the party, but I'm happy for it. Small Tef could bounce something. The next card we should deal with here is Narset. Plus, could have a sweeper in hand. You know, have at least 2 cards. Go to combat. Attack Teferi. Attack Narset. And there's a Solitude, exiles Devourer. Seven and 6. 8, 2, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it would be nice if we had 1 more mana. Because now they're going to consign. Like I said, I want to deal with Narset, but maybe Teferi is the way to go. Alternatively, we could go Ashiok. Teferi can get them an additional card. We don't really want that. So we'll go for Big Tef. Fetch. They'll play their consign. Yep. Body Stick's on board though, so I'll take it. another Narset, so going after Narset would have been a bit pointless. Narset minus. Finds Days Undoing. That's not the end of the world, since we have the Devourer tucked. So they do that, we're kind of okay. So they get to Fairy Bounce, yep, then Days Undoing. Cool. Land, fetch. Days Undoing. There's a reason why I want to deal with the Narset. Draw. Good news, we still have the Devourer. Deal with the Narset, as that's card advantage in selection. Gotta be joking me, have a consign, yep. At least get the body on board. Actually, I should not play this because of Garich. The Fairy Plus. And sure enough, there's Garich. Yeah, we need to be careful here, lest we end up in a lock. Tap 2. What? What we doing? Supreme Verdict. That's fine. I genuinely am starting to... Opponent, that's just rude. Yeah, like I said, good thing we have that Devour tucked. The one problem is now is that Garich puts us into a lock. Do I even want to see what's on top otherwise? Probably not, right? At least give us options, not to mention that we do want to cast this Devourer. Well, we pitch a Devourer. We need to get rid of the Narset. If the Narset doesn't die here, then we are SOL. Do you have another consign? Huh. Subtlety. Doesn't matter. You have me on lock now, so I will concede. You got it. Oof. I felt like we were in a good spot there for a while, but they just kept on getting more and more action to the point where we just could not keep up. Yeah, I mean, we didn't even see any of our sideboard pieces, which I don't think would have done too much. I don't think we could have done anything differently. I'm not sure. I think we were trying to chip away as much as possible, but they just kept on getting there first. It is what it is. With that said, we'll be back for match 5. Alright, and we're back for match 5 on the play for game 1. Let's take a look. We can keep. Looking for a soul land here. Commercial district, trigger, found the soul land, top, and pass, and pass. Swamp, Thoughtseize, Inquisition, takes a rumble. Could take a command, I was about to say. Command is very versatile. Temple or Chris? We go Chrysalis. Get a body on board and also ramps us. We'll pass. And hold. Is it a Dothy? Inquisition hits Rumble. And Spellbomb. That is fine. Draw, command, shock. And pass. And hold out the ability to respond. And next turn, Mishra's Factory. Discards a card. Is this Rack? I'll pitch the Catacombs. Interesting. Draw. I think we null drift. Trigger 1. 2, 3. Draw 2. Do you have a Bowmaster? What do you ping? They made a mistake. They should have pinged. I guess actually no. They could still have a chance to ping the Chrysalis. Yeah. Because that's what they probably should end up pinging in the long run. If they ping even once. Spellbomb. Okay, so now return just null and void. Never mind. Tis a moot point then. Draw 2. Trigger, trigger. Target me, target me. Can't exile, it's already in exile. We'll go to combat. Swing at you for 5. And next turn we can sweep the board of the Bowmaster. Liliana. I mean, the Chrysalis gets continuously bigger, but Annihilator is good. So I think we will sacrifice the Chris. Annihilator's just a bit too good to give up. Let's go to combat and attack Lily. No legal targets. Play a lab. No imprint. And cast another Chrysalis. And pass. And hold. 4. Rude. Yes, that will die. I don't want to proceed here. Trigger 1. Trigger 2. And done. And top. And top. Target me or target a spawn. It is up to you, opponent. Regardless, I'll have enough. Sack in response. No legal targets. Let's go to combat. Another 5 at you. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we'll kick the Mishra's factory. I'd rather you not hang around. I'll go for another temp. And pass. We'll kick again next turn. Spellbomb. Spellbomb's fine. This has to be the rack, right? There's no other reason why I could foresee there being all this. And opponent scoops it up. We'll take it. So rack. Win. I guess it would be the rack. If that's the case, and it is the rack, I mean, most of their hand interactions going to be sorcery, so we could bring in Warping Whale. That's a thought. Remove the returns. Maybe just run it like this. The Dismember might be good in case of a Dothy. Cut Ghost Quarter, cut Bog. Yeah, I think that might be right. Yeah, I mean, it's black, hand disruption. I imagine they have Dothy. We need to definitely deal with that quickly when and where possible. I'll keep this. Yeah, mulliganing here is not exactly a great option if we can help it. I'll reveal, and I'll pass. For Borg. Thoughtseize. What do you want to grab? Probably the K command. Yep. Trigger. 4. Let's go Ugin Lab. Utopia Sprawl for red. And pass. And pass. Tis a swamp. And Dampening Sphere. Funny enough, does not stop the Utopia Sprawl. Oh, we'll go Malevolent Rumble. Let's go Windswept Teeth then. Play the Windswept Teeth and pass. And on end step, we'll fetch for a commercial district. I'll pitch the lab. Not doing much right now. Someone forgot about their own tax, eh? pause on end step. And fetch. For commercial district. Sanctum of Ugin, top. Tis a Bowmaster. Targets. Sack. And move the main. Tis a forest. And a Writhing Chris. Alright. Let's see what you got, opponent. Tis a Mishra's Factory. 1 card remaining. Anything of substance, or doesn't look like it? I mean, a Kick-Soin Megaspawn to a Kick-Soin Megaspawn. Don't mind if I do. Sack. Always yield. Let's get rid of that Mishra's Factory. I'll grab... I guess we just grab the Eldrazi Temp. And Bone Scoops. Bone Scoops, we'll take the win. Alright, well, not a bad league. I believe that is a 3-2 record at the end of 5, so we'll take that. Once again, the deck's pretty consistent. There's not really as much to say in that regard. It's not like the deck is underperforming by any stretch. Right now, across all versions, I'm sitting at a 54% win rate. This includes some challenges or leagues that I don't upload. But, I mean, 54% into kind of a very unknown meta, a meta in flux, whatever you want to call it, is pretty good. I'm still thinking that based on what we're seeing and where my losses really do start to see some consistent patterns is against these artifact-centric decks that I think maybe Eldrazi Ramp is correct. I keep on saying it, then I keep on testing other versions, and keep on re-saying it again, right? So I think maybe we do just stick with Eldrazi Ramp and call it a day, and just try and adjust the sideboard based on where we're at with the meta. I mean, like, there's some things that do just need to stick in there, like Dismember, like Consign. Whether it be 2 or 3, hard to say. Soulless Jailer is very strong into a number of matchups. It does make some weaker matchups stronger. Better than, let's say, Stonebrain used to, which we used to run 3 of. So it's hard to say what the wish board should look like. I'm thinking maybe at the very least opening up 1 slot by taking out AK Return. I think as we're seeing, I'm not sure if I can actually sit here and say we're seeing less energy, because right now in the past 7 days we're looking at what, like 15.8 meta share, which is not insignificant. But I mean, Belcher's at 6.3 in the last 7 days. Sam combo 2.5, which, you know, there's a justification for Soulless Jailer Affinity at 2.2. So, I mean, if we're just looking at between Affinity and Belcher, I mean, that's like 8-9% there alone. And I get a feeling that Kethis combo is probably going to see more play in the near future. I don't really see it all too much here, though, interestingly. Neo Brand actually on the board with 0.4. Jesus. Yeah, I don't see Kethis at all, actually. Interesting. That's weird. I feel like Kethis was seeing some traction, but maybe not. Basking Broodscale only at like less than 1%. Oh, this past 30 days, maybe that's why. Yeah, Belcher at 6.3. Affinity at 2.2 for roughly 9. Basking at 1.4, so we'll say 10. There's Kethis, so like 11. Yeah, so like 11% of the meta is, you know, looking at maybe 12 if we include like Thopter combo Asmo food. 12, 13 is very artifact centric. So I think between all of that, I think Karn might be correct just because of like, it's not one single deck that's seen a lot of play, but it's enough across the board that Karn probably makes sense. Jailer definitely makes sense. Consign makes sense with Eldrazi Ramp being 12.0%. Not to mention Consign, just a really good card into a lot of matchups. Jailer making more sense, especially because of Ruby Storm, Amulet Titan, very good matchups for Jailer at least. Yawgmoth at 2, Sam combo at 2.5. Yeah, so the meta's going to be interesting, especially with Tarkir dropping on Tuesday. I mean, technically, Tarkir is able to be used now in paper, but will drop on Moto on Tuesday. So I imagine we'll also see an increase in Tron as they attempt to use Ugin. So will be interesting to see where things land. But that being said, I'll stop my idle prattling and we'll move on to the outro. So as always, if you guys did enjoy today's video, please do consider hitting the like button, comment down below if you did see any lines that I missed, any mistakes that I made, or just some general feedback. It is always appreciated, for as much as I hope that you all learn from me in both my success and my failure. I hope that I can learn from you all as well. Last but not least, if you haven't already, please do consider subscribing. We're getting closer and closer to our next goal of 1,000 subscribers. With that being said, folks, I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.